ratchet. Welcome viewers, Cooper's Automotive, a 1998 Dodge Ram 1500 Series 2-wheel drive 5.2 liter. Checked it out, and it needs lower ball joints. So we're going to show you how I do that. Stay tuned. To start with, obviously the basics of taking your cotter keys out here, and I take them out your tie rod and take these nuts off. I've loosened this one, and that's a 24. I'm just going to bring it down that far though, if there's a reason for that. And then this one is a 21. Grabbing the big sledgehammer, hitting it right here. Lower ball joint. You can see all the play, and that thing's really bad.
Let's line up our
Anyway, leaving it connected
keyway
with the spring, but we got this sitting right here so it can't go down any further than the nut. Gives us pressure and helps us get that loose. Interesting enough, the shock is holding it up too, but I never trust the shock as our final stay. Now once we get that, I do realize on this one also, we can't get it down low enough to get the ball joint out. So we've also got to loosen the top one and pull that keyway out.
so I can see it.
That may also be a 21. I'm not real sure. Let's try a 22 on that one.
And another one tight, another one keyway that's back in there. Put our tie rod back up.
Okay, same kind of thing.
Get our nut for that.
Hitting it right there.
And then we can take it
hoping that that will also release our ball joint down to there.
Okay, go ahead and put the keyway on, ball joints tight at the bottom. Tie rod's tight. I gotta put the brakes on this.
Oh, my light.
We've already pushed our caliper back in on this side. We have some brake pads that I've opened up here. And these are this basic Napa brand SS7259BM.
Doesn't always work, but when it does, it's great.
Our brake pads.
I'm just gonna start on this side. The next thing that I'm gonna do is go ahead and take my caliper off.
Get unhooked here.
And those are big Allens. In the old days, we'd say those were 3/8. But let's see exactly what they are. They are 3/8, so still stays the same. I gotta do brakes on this anyway.
There we go.
Because the pads are worn out. Caliper hanger. And let's hang this. Well, think we'll hang it right there.
Trying to keep vision up.
All right, that's not going anywhere. Pick up my bolt for my caliper and just set that on my cart. Now that we've got all that out of the way.
All right, she's seated.
We can lower it and set it on a jack stand. So let's do that now and then reposition our camera for the next shot. Down on the ground here.
Get us some lube on these things.
Go ahead and remove our spindle.
All right, we got the Permatech silicone ceramic string brake parts lubricant.
We got a little clip on the top. Snap ring pliers may be big enough to remove it.
And let's find our bolts for that. One of them fell
There we are.
The floor, and the other one may have done the
Now
same.
it's time to get that ball joint out of there using our big air hammer. Let's see how it works out. Right on top of the Zerk fitting. Huh.
I see it right there in between my floor stand. And there we have it. One worn out ball joint out of the way. Let's go get our new parts.
Okay, we're using these quick steers right here, the K72, well, 7271. And once you get your C-clamp and your tools that you know you're going to use to press it in there.
I could show you doing the other lower ball joint, but it's the same as doing this side. So we got brakes, lower ball joint, 1998 Dodge 1500 two-wheel drive.
Let's see how much room we've got here.
Thanks for watching. Many more videos to come.
Sometimes that's the biggest thing is the room in between it and getting everything in there. So we need something a little shorter than that one. We'll be fine. And then we may have to change tools out as to what we're using. Alright, so our upper control arm is really close to what we're doing here. I think I'm going to wedge it up out of our way a little bit if I need to. Let's find out. That'd be a 22, I think, on the top of that. Let's see what kind of room we got here. All right, yep, let's do a little wedge that control arm up. She is right where I want to press and get things in here. So let's do this. See if we're getting it. I gotta say, that's about the first time that I've had a problem with a control arm in my way on a Dodge. I just can't quite get enough room. So I'm just going to pry it up and hold it at the same time. Never had to do that before. Just checking that we're pressing straight. Yeah, we're doing good. You'll know when you're there because you just will not be able to pull any further. Like that. And looking at it, making sure we're all the way up. And we're pressed all the way in. That's good shape. New snap ring. Of course, I need bigger snap ring pliers. Zerk fitting. And an 8mm to tighten that up. Then we can get our brain and a strain here and pick all the spindle up. Now, my elbows are so bad, sometimes this really hurts. So you could use a floor jack underneath it, which I am going to, and lift that up. As you can see, I used a floor jack and I jacked it up in there and started the nut so I wouldn't hurt myself too much for the old man. Now we need to get the top in there. This time would give us plenty of room. Get up underneath something to pry it down a little bit. Find my nut that I had. Okay, so let's get this down. There we go. Now we determined that top was a 22, I do believe. And my 22 ratchet is, gear wrench ratchet is torn up, so it'd be a good idea at this point to use my my big ratchet. Now let's line up our keyway.
And that one's lined up. Now we'll start on our bottom 24 down here. I think I'm going to use a big socket on that. Down here so I can see it. And another one tight, and another one keyways that's back in there. Put our tie rod back up. Get our nut for that. And then we can take it up actually and put the brakes back together. Okay, I've gone ahead and put the keyways in, the ball joints top and bottom, and the tie rod's tight. I got to put the brakes on this. I've already pushed our caliper back in on this side. We have some brake pads that I've opened up here. And these are this basic Napa brand SS7259BM. And that's our brake pads. So let's get unhooked here. That out. Our pad out of there. There we go. Oh, trying to keep vision up and do the job at the same time. All right, she's seated. Get us some lube on these things. All right, we got the Permatex silicone ceramic extreme brake parts lubricant. And let's find our bolts for that. I see it right there in between my floor stand. Let's start it. So strong the battery pops right out of it. I could show you doing the other lower ball joint, but it's the same as doing this side. So we got brakes, lower ball joint, 1998 Dodge 1500 two-wheel drive truck. Hey, thanks for watching. Many more videos to come. Keep up the good views, subscribe to the channel. Say yes, no, maybe if you like it, I will reply.